Hey, good morning, everybody. Ron Hoon here. About a minute before we get going live with Fox 10 Talks. Thanks for jumping on early. Be sure to join us in YouTube with your comments and questions. We are going to be live with Irene Snyder live in Tucson. She has been developing the latest info. We do have some of the newest in that just awful case of the disappearance of Savannah Guthrie's mom. Also coming up, we'll roll out our poll question in a moment. It has to do with the latest with Epstein and the Clintons. And then Robert Stieve. We love it when he pops in. We live in such a beautiful state. Wait till you see these pics. Coming up. It's 10 o'clock, and this is Fox 10 Talks. The whole country, of course, is focused on the search for Savannah Guthrie's mother, who has now been missing for well over a day. We are talking about Nancy Guthrie, and we will have a report coming up in about a minute now from our Irene Snyder, who, by the way, has just been doing an excellent job, I think, covering this story. There's a lot of sensitivities involved here when you have a missing elderly person and a lot of prayers being said on behalf of the Guthrie family. We hope to be able to get you the very latest. And by the way, we have learned there is going to be a news conference coming up a little bit later this morning. So all of that is happening. And also, let me just invite you to join the YouTube chat. Syleste and I are both trying to be as kind of interactive with you as possible. It's also a chance for me for the first time today to roll out our poll question. The Clintons have agreed, Bill and Hillary, to go under oath with all they know and or did with Jeffrey Epstein. 77% of you are saying, good, Bill Clinton finally has to answer what he did and didn't do with Epstein. 18% are saying, look, it's just a big attempt to distract us from Trump's connection to Epstein. And 5% are saying, hold on a minute, there are many more men who need to go under oath. There is still so much more to this story. Syleste joins us this morning. Hi, Syleste.
Hi, Ron. Good morning to you, my friend.
Good morning to you.
Good morning. Good morning. Good to see
By the way, if you have ever read an issue of Arizona Highways and you want to chat directly with Robert Stieve, who runs that whole magazine, he is our guest in about 20 minutes. Join the convo in YouTube and let us know what you think. But let's go right to Syleste, shall we? Right now, because we want to get the very latest from our Irene Snyder, who has been in Tucson throughout the morning. Irene, now we know there's going to be a big news conference held a little bit later, correct?
Yeah, it's going to be at 11:30, Ron and Syleste. We're going to have that news conference. We're going to head there in just a little bit. But the Pima County Sheriff's Office, throughout the morning and overnight hours, they have been asking the community, neighbors, to give any information they have if they saw anything suspicious. We were told there were cameras inside the home, but we're not sure where those cameras were pointing. They're asking neighbors for footage, anything they might have to help them figure out what happened to Nancy Guthrie, the 84-year-old mother of the Today Show host, Savannah Guthrie. Now, we did have from TMZ reporting that there was some blood found inside the home of Nancy Guthrie. At this point, it's unclear whose blood that was or whose blood that belonged to, a person that belonged to. But again, we do know there was blood inside the home. We do know that she was taken out, or that I believe she was abducted in the overnight hours from Saturday. And the reason they actually found out she did not make it to church on Sunday morning. And that's when one of the neighbors, one of her friends at church said, hey, she's not here, and they were able to, the family was able to investigate from that point on. And then at noon on Sunday, they reported her missing. Since then, investigators have been scouring the area. We've had detectives. We've been out outside the home this morning where they had signs, letters, people who were just expressing their thoughts and their prayers for the Guthrie family during this time. So, and Savannah Guthrie, she posted on Instagram too. She was talking about how much her mom means to her, how much her mom's faith in God means to her as well, and she's asking other people for their prayers at this time. And according to the Pima County Sheriff's Office, they are investigating her home here in Tucson as a crime scene. So as we've been out here all morning trying to talk to neighbors. None of them wanted to go on camera with us, but they did tell us off camera that, you know, their thoughts or prayers are with the family. They're hoping the best for Savannah, for her two other siblings as well, and for Nancy, again, the 84-year-old mother of Savannah Guthrie. So they were saying, too, the family told police that she was not able to walk very far. This is not a cognitive issue, that they do believe that she was taken from her home. So we're waiting on more information and more confirmation from officials about exactly what happened. But again, we do have that news conference scheduled at 11:30 this morning. We're going to be out there. We're going to get you the latest information. But it's just such a heartbreaking story to be out here for this morning, talking to so many people, and you know, seeing that post from Savannah Guthrie on Instagram as well is heart-wrenching. So again, that news conference at 11:30 this morning. We'll be out there and we'll bring you the latest. So I'll send it back to you guys for now.
You know, Irene, we have some questions from people, some of our viewers here in the chat on YouTube. Scottsdale Coyote says, or it's Sapphire 9841, that is, do they believe this was a targeted attack? Have they indicated anything of that sort with you?
So I was not out here yesterday, but I believe in looking at some other reports and stuff, and you know, people talking, they were saying that I believe someone asked that question and they weren't able to answer it at this time. So at least that's, again, I was not the one out here yesterday. I was not able to ask that question myself, but I believe that's what I've heard, is that they weren't able to get confirmation about that.
Also,
but they haven't ruled it out either.
Okay, Irene, we're getting a lot of questions now in our YouTube family here that we have on Fox 10 Talks. What about this effort to speed up the DNA analysis? There's a Phoenix firm involved. Do we know? Will that really speed it up, or what have you been able to learn in that regard?
Well, they did say that they sent it off to Phoenix, but we weren't able to get any confirmation as far as whose, DNA they were sending, exactly what that might have been, any results at this point. I don't know exactly why they sped it up, other than the fact that, they're trying to get some information about this case, trying to obviously get Nancy Guthrie home as soon as possible, but no other details or explanation as far as that's concerned, Ron.
In any of the press conferences, Irene, did they share whether or not there were cameras inside or outside of her home, or maybe at neighbors, and that's a part of the investigation?
So they did say that there were some cameras inside Nancy Guthrie's home. They didn't specify where or if they picked up anything, but they've been talking to neighbors since then, trying to get any Ring camera footage, any other security camera, to really piece together and see if they're able to determine what happened here on Saturday night into Sunday.
So, Irene, my understanding is that the city never has placed street lights in this area. Who knows? Maybe it's a kind of a dark sky situation. Maybe that's the way the neighbors wanted it. I'm not quite sure. But one of my concerns is I've seen reports that they are going to look at traffic cameras. They're going to look at license plate readers. And as you and Syleste were just discussing, anybody with Ring cameras. But when you were out there very early this morning before sunrise, could you it must have been, it must have felt like it was the middle of the night, just in terms of any level of light.
To be honest with you guys, the only level of light we saw out there this morning was from the TV cameras that were out there. We obviously had many crews, networks, people from around the country that have been out here this morning. So the only lights we had were our lights and the other, television camera lights that we had out here this morning. Everything else was basically pitch black.
Do you have a situation, Irene, where they have people from the community that are also helping with the search, or are they just saying, hey, if you're out there in the public and you know anything, then just let us know?
So we haven't seen any community members actively involved, but again, they're asking people to give any information they might have. Savannah Guthrie herself, along with the Pima County Sheriff's Department, they put out, a release. They put out information with all of this media on social media saying, hey, if you know anything, if you have any footage, make sure to contact the Sheriff's Department because they're really hoping to get Nancy Guthrie home. Again, an 84-year-old woman that they're hoping is able to make it home. And they also mentioned, too, the fact that she has some medication, that's life-saving medication she needs, that she has not had access to for the last 2 days. Wow. So that's important to them as well, to make sure that they're able to find her.
Irene, if you'll hold on for just a minute, here's a kind of a recap of what we have been hearing from law enforcement so far regarding this case. Now, this is prior to about 90 minutes away, less than 90 minutes now, that new news conference from law enforcement. But here's what we had heard.
You go home in your own private bedroom, under your covers. That's supposed to be the safest place on the planet. And to learn that an 84-year-old lady, a good heart, is missing from that type of environment, that should be very scary to us as a community, as law enforcement. And so we'll work this till we find them. It's very rare that we call out our criminal investigation team to support that effort, because they just do it on their own. They're so good. But what I was briefed was enough to make me go, there's something here. There's something that's not right. It's unsettling. We need to do a little more. I'm going to have I want our search and rescue team out there. I want them to do their good job. But we need our criminal investigation team out there to make sure that, one, like I say, time is important in these cases, but also make sure we're not missing something.
Yeah, one of the things I've been wondering, Irene, I think maybe some others have as well, have you seen any evidence of FBI out there? I mean, our video shows mostly still Sheriff's Department, but we understood yesterday the report out of Washington. We're going to give you resources. We'll give you the FBI, and also very interesting, CBP, Customs and Border Protection. Have you seen any sign of either of those agencies there as you've been on site?
So on site where we were throughout much of the morning in front of Nancy Guthrie's home, the only people that were there were media and then some neighbors that were walking their dogs around there. So as you know, they're combing the area too. It's not just in front of her house. So they easily could be somewhere else around here, and I haven't seen them, but not as far as I've seen to answer your question. But I don't doubt that there are plenty of people out there working on this too. So hopefully we can get more information on that for you at the press conference at 11:30.
We have another question for you from Sapphire 9841. We have about 1 minute left here, Irene. Why do you think investigators are so tight-lipped? Wouldn't more transparency cause the kidnappers to get spooked and just release her? So do you think that is why? Have they indicated why they're so tight-lipped about the case?
Well, I mean, for starters, this is a high-profile case in that it's the mother of the Today Show host, Savannah Guthrie. She's, a national figure here. Many people love watching her in the morning, just like, they watch you, Syleste and Ron. So that might be one thing. And then on the other side, too, I mean, I've covered, obviously, other crime investigations, too. And sometimes they don't want to release too much information, that those who committed the crime will see. I don't know exactly in this case. I can't give you an exact answer without talking to officials. But they, did say they're looking at cameras. They said that they're trying to get neighbors involved. They're trying to get as much information as they possibly can. And hopefully we're getting more by 11:30. So that's, we asked too. I think you guys asked if this was, someone had asked me earlier if this was a targeted attack. We don't know that at this point either, because the high-profile nature of Savannah Guthrie's job, we're not sure about any of that. And I think, I'll speak with detectives in the next hour or so, but there's some, as of yesterday, there were still some unknowns on their end as well that they're still investigating too.
All right, Irene, thank you very much.
Great job.
Excellent reporting.
Oh, my goodness.
We're going to take a break. And by the way, get you the mystery cam. We'll be right back. Well, it is Mystery Cam time, Celeste.
It is.
And where, oh, where would you see a beautiful beach like this and at the same time snow?
So I'm going to go Rhode Island.
Okay.
I believe somebody in there said Rhode Island. And while you all are thinking about this, continuing to think about this and let us know, throw your thought in the chat.
Okay.
I want to say hello to some new people.
Yeah.
One Way Street, Apache Junction, Arizona. That's where they're watching from.
All right.
We also have Fusion 56 watching from Albany, Oregon.
Fusion 56 in Albany. I will just tell you, Albany and then nearby is Corvallis.
Yes.
Which to me, I know that the Ducks, the University of Oregon, they get more talk maybe than the Beavers.
But the Beavers are in Corvallis, right?
The Beavers are in Corvallis, and that is maybe the most picture-perfect college town you will ever see.
Oh, wow.
Albany, welcome aboard. We hope you'll join us every day.
Yeah, and we have a couple of new ones. Let's see. We've got Sarah Chavez, so she watches every morning. She's in Glendale, Arizona, and so we're so glad you're watching.
Okay.
Here are the guesses. Let's move on to the mystery camera now.
Okay.
DB 8058 says, good morning from Murphy, North Carolina.
Nice.
Okay, so some people say this is Newport Beach.
Yeah, because you see the sign right there. It says Newport Beach Hotel and Suite, but I just don't think it's Newport Beach. Celeste, now.
I know where there's another Newport.
Okay. Which is where? Oh, in Rhode Island.
Yes.
That's why you're. Okay.
Yeah.
But, okay, so I get these images locked in my brain. And this reminds me of a drive I took in Michigan once, south of Traverse City. I do not remember the name of that city, but I'm going to go Michigan because I have an image like this locked in my brain from like 5 years ago.
Wow.
So you're going Rhode Island. I'm going Michigan. We have an expert, by the way, in our studio. It's this fellow right over here, Robert Stieve. He's stared at about 1 billion pictures. What do you think, Robert?
Boy, geez, I don't think I'm at liberty to say. The producers back there told me not to reveal the.
Oh, you know the answer.
Yeah, I know the answer. They told me to keep it quiet.
Remind us when you're running for office, buddy, with answers like that. Okay, here she comes, everybody. Here's your answer.
We do have candidates on this show, by the way. So if you want to run for office, Middletown, Rhode Island.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, so Newport,
Good job, you
guys. I picked up this random sweatshirt somewhere that said Newport, Rhode Island. And so I still have it. If I would have known, I would have worn it today.
Have you been there yet to Newport, Rhode Island?
I have not, but I remember we were on YouTube one day. We're on YouTube this morning, actually.
There we are.
But
Speak of the devil.
I was watching some of these really cool houses. In Rhode Island.
Yeah.
Like the old, what's the old money family?
So the Vanderbilts.
Thank you. Their mansion
is called the Breakers.
This man was walking through the Breakers and walking in the different levels and different rooms and showing off like the gold emblems and the pillars and taking you out to see the ocean and to see what money bought them back then.
That fireplace alone is as big as some people's house.
Yeah, it's
I'm just
enormous.
telling you. You've been, right, Robert?
Yes, and doesn't Taylor Swift have a house on the beach there too?
Oh, really? In Newport?
I think so.
You know who else does? Is Jay Leno, and it is a spectacular home. It's just about a mile up the road from the Breakers. There's one called Marble House. It's like a whole day just to tour those mansions. It's incredible. Okay, hey, so you've heard his voice. Take a look at this guy, would you?
Hey,
yeah,
fresh from the cold outside.
Yeah. So for all of you who new viewers, this is editor-in-chief of Arizona Highways Magazine, Robert Stieve. Good to see you, my friend.
Thank you so much for having me. This is a blast. I love it here.
Just sharing with him, Ron, yesterday when we had the governor's candidate on.
Yeah.
He was talking about Arizona Highways Magazine.
Yeah, sure.
And how he received it in the Midwest when he was living there, and it kind of reminded him of Arizona. And he's like, oh, yeah, this is a cool spot.
I'm going to move back someday. Yeah.
Isn't that cool?
I bet that's happened to a lot of people. Hey, so let's just talk a little bit about it here. Oh, hold on. We are having a problem again today with our graphics machine. I'm just going to apologize right out of the chute. But let's go to graphics 2. And there we go. Okay. So Arizona's bridge to the past.
Yeah. So this is an old photo, probably made in the 1950s. So if any of your viewers have ever hiked the West Fork of Oak Creek, and right when you get to that trailhead, there's some ruins from an old resort. And there's a little plaque that talks about all the famous people that stayed there, including Walt Disney and Jimmy Stewart and all these people. It was Mayhew's Lodge. And this is a shot of that old lodge and another look right there, sort of from from where you would walk up to it. It burned down in the early 1980s, most likely arson, although that was never officially declared. But it was a classic spot in one of the most beautiful places on Earth.
Yeah, okay. So this is a kind of a retrospective
Yeah,
look at our history and our beauty at the same time. I'm going to punch up the next one here. I'm going to punch graphics 4.
Yeah, what we do here, every February is look backward and celebrate history as Arizona gets ready to have another birthday coming up on Valentine's Day. But this was downtown Phoenix back in, I'm guessing, the 1950s. That's looking up Central Avenue.
Yeah, look at those cars.
And you just get, you get lost in these old photos, just looking at the signs, especially on the buildings and what some of those businesses were. And this was when Phoenix was a thriving downtown the first time. We're back in that space now, which is great. But this was how it looked back then.
So that building to the right is the Old Valley National Bank building before they built the 40-story
I
one
think
that's
so.
right next door. Now I think it's at a Holiday Inn Express. Is that right?
Oh,
I think it is.
I don't know.
Yeah, we'll have to look it up for sure. But
So this is central, but what is the road in which the photographer is standing on looking? This is looking to the south.
Yeah,
right?
I think
South
this
Mountain.
is way down, probably looking up from, I don't know, Washington or Jefferson or something. I think it's pretty far down.
yeah. And then just over to the left, you can almost see the Westward Ho. You can just kind of make out just the little hint of the tower on top.
Oh, yes.
It's fantastic. Back in the day when they used to have, those ladders and iron staircases in case of fire, that was how you were expected to get down, right?
Yeah, which would have been an adventure in itself, right?
Yeah.
Especially under such adverse conditions.
I said we have a quick surprise.
Oh, we have a surprise coming up.
You bring out the extra microphone.
Oh, we have an
From
extra
down
mic
here.
Okay.
We have a surprise guest. This is so much fun.
Well, this has never happened before.
This has never happened.
Good.
Switch over
This is
the
like,
mic,
what's your
Ron. We
line?
have somebody coming in right now.
Okay.
To celebrate the 1-year anniversary of
Oh.
Fox 10
To celebrate.
Oh, wow. What is going on?
Look at this. Hold on. Wide shot, wide shot, wide shot.
Oh,
Ready? Here we go.
wow.
What?
Come on, scoot on over.
Wow.
Oh, wow. This is really great. Hi, good morning. This is such a sweet treat. Thank you.
Come on in and identify yourself.
Hi, I'm Tori. I work with Mac Media Relations, and we work with Mastros.
Okay.
And
Heard
so,
of
all right, who has it?
Right. What'd you bring?
Well, I brought a dozen mini butter cakes with all the fixings.
Oh, wow.
You got everything in there. So, hello, sorry. So we were listening to your show a couple of episodes ago, and you were talking about the anniversary, and someone, I forgot who, made a little joke about how they just got off the phone with Mastros, and Mastros will be delivering all this filet mignon for your anniversary.
Oh, my goodness. Ron, take a look inside there.
So we heard and we thought how, we wanted to surprise you guys and bring some butter cakes for your
thank you.
anniversary. Yeah. Yes.
Ron, happy anniversary.
Celeste, happy anniversary to you. 2 years since
I
we
know.
launched.
So exciting.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah.
Today was the day. I
So-
guess I better speak. I didn't even know today was the day.
Me neither.
Right?
You're such a man. Didn't even know the date of our anniversary.
Ask me what color of shoes you're wearing, Celeste. I have no idea. Anyway, that is so
They are
thoughtful
no
of you
color,
guys.
No color.
Remind everybody where Mastros is.
Mastros City Hall is on Camelback in Old Town Scottsdale, right off of Goldwater.
They have the most amazing.
the butter cakes are. I mean,
Yeah.
the butter cakes are phenomenal.
Yeah.
So enjoy.
Okay.
Thank you. That is so sweet.
That has the cakes and that bag has the cakes and the fruits and all of that, and then this bag has the ice cream to top it off.
Oh, wow.
Can we, as we say in the business, Dave, go to black now? Or color bars or something.
Color
For about
bars.
15 minutes, we're going to eat, and we'll get... No, we got to keep doing the stream. That is so thoughtful
Thank
of you
you.
guys.
That is
Thank
so
you.
sweet.
That's amazing.
We so appreciate it. Mastros, they have really good mac and cheese,
I'll
too.
bring this off.
By the way, now
Thank
here's
you.
what's interesting about this. Here's Robert looking at us because we're celebrating our second anniversary.
Happy birthday. Happy anniversary.
Arizona Highways is how old now?
We're just about to turn 101.
Ah, there you go. And we're throwing a big party for 2.
Hey, but, we didn't have butter cakes and all that ice cream at our party.
It's funny. Ron and I were just talking about how crazy it's been. For those of you who don't know, and many of you have been here since the beginning, but we started and Robert, too, in this little teensy closet.
Yeah.
And Ron and I were just chatting. We had no video, no sound. It was just pictures, I think.
Basically just us talking about the news. And now we do the very same thing, except we get to do it with you guys.
Yes, so amazing.
Okay, let's get back on track, Robert. So anyway, we love those old retro pictures. To me, it looks like all the buildings are tilted slightly to the left, but that's just me. Okay,
That's all the butter cake you've been smelling.
Yeah,
really. Let me go to graphics. The next graphics, Brian. I'm not able to punch these buttons. Oh, look at that.
Yeah.
Can you guess where that is? This is another guessing shot, Ron.
Okay, so could that have been... was it Tri-City Mall? Or was it... what was the one... Colonnade Mall, maybe?
Okay.
You're
Keep
getting
going.
cold.
Keep going.
Metro?
Nope. Move other side of the valley.
Go head east.
Not Tri-City Mall?
Nope.
Early Fiesta Mall?
Nope.
Not that far east.
Yeah.
Closer.
Closer to...
I'll give you the coordinates.
Okay, good.
McDowell and Scottsdale Road.
Oh, yeah.
Los
sure.
Arcos.
My gosh. And, of course, we have the arches.
Yeah.
Los Arcos.
Yes. I wish they would have never taken that down. And I wish they would have preserved at least the core. ASU Sky Song is there now. But Ron, if you look at that white, what is that? What kind of car is that? The white?
Like an Impala or something?
Maybe.
No. But anyway, go ahead. We got a minute left.
The window's down. It's like there's no.
Yeah,
it's
it
like
is.
he
But that was in the days when you had to crank them with your hand.
Yes.
People just didn't want to go through all that effort.
Right.
It's like, I'm just running in.
And you didn't even need mall security.
No.
Hey,
Mall
Brian.
cops. What?
Let's go to the final graphic because speaking of Arizona highways, there we go. Thank you, Brian.
Nice.
Oh.
Congratulations.
Yeah, no kidding.
Thank you.
140,000 followers on Instagram.
Yeah, thank you. We're proud of that. All organic. Never bought a follower. We just, when you're in the business of showcasing beautiful photos and historic photos, people really dig that. And so we're grateful for all our followers. I know both of you are followers. I see you pop in.
Dedicated.
By the way, who took that picture?
That's a photographer named Gary Ladd, who's been shooting for us since the 1970s, based up in Page, Arizona. Just one of our favorite shots
What
of
a
the
life
canyon.
he has, right? You get to live in Page. You're like steps to Lake Powell, and you get to take these incredible photos. That is, to me, one of the most beautiful pics of the Grand Canyon I've ever seen.
Yeah, it's a classic.
Amazing.
Yeah.
My goodness, so beautiful.
Right.
I mean, I'm glad it was organic. I was thinking it was like an OnlyFans thing, Ron. I mean, like maybe feet were involved or something.
Do you know what that is?
I have no idea what you're about to say next.
any
But
of you-
take it away.
If you could see Ron's face.
This is the face. Celeste, I thought we agreed. No OnlyFans talk. Come on. All right, anyway. Robert, you are the best, buddy.
It's great to be here. This is a party every time. Thank you so
for
much.
putting up with us.
And don't leave without cake.
I'm taking a couple.
take
And ice
some.
cream. And we promise no more OnlyFans talk. Okay, we'll be right back.
Not.
One more time, let's hear it for Arizona Highways. As
I
they hit
know.
almost 250,000 followers on Instagram. Celeste, I think you're like at 50,000 followers on Instagram. What is your, if you don't mind me, I'm not trying to pry, but what is your name on Instagram?
My name on Instagram is Syleste.
Okay.
Fox 10.
Thank you.
What about yours, Ron?
I was hoping you'd ask. Hooner Fox 10.
Yes.
Now, is your nickname just Syl?
You know, because it's SYL instead of CE off the top.
Okay.
No, it never has been.
So what is your actual nickname?
I don't really, I only have ever had one nickname in middle school.
Okay, this is going to be good. This is new information for you viewers here around the world. Go ahead, Celeste, lay it on us.
Okay, what happens in middle school? People tease you.
Yeah, they do.
And there's bullies.
Oh, no.
And so they would call me Sylvester the Molester.
Oh, jeez.
And that's so bad.
That is.
I can laugh about it now, but that was the only nickname I've ever had, Ron. Now, thank you for bringing up some really sad time in my life.
Sylvester, the thing about Sylvester, I'm going to slide over here so I don't
come on in,
kilter.
Ron.
Thank you, Celeste. I'll still
scoot
observe
over a
your
little.
personal space. When you type Celeste, like AI or whatever, the phone tries to make it turn into Sylvester.
Yeah, I know.
It's not familiar with how you spell your name.
Well, if Stallone is okay with it, he can share his money with me. I don't mind sharing my name with him.
Yeah, and by the way, you are what, 5'6"? Stallone, you would look down on Stallone. I think he's about 5'2" or something.
Oh, he is?
5'3".
I'm
He's quite short.
I'm 5'3".
Are you?
Yeah, we're about equal. With my heels, I'm like 5'6".
Maybe that's why you wear the 6-inch heels.
Yeah, that's
gives you that extra. People are like, there goes that very tall Celeste. But it's just the
I
heels.
get that all the time. I
bet
thought
you
you were
do.
much taller.
Yeah.
I'm like, nope.
Hey, we are super excited.
Yes, we are.
Number one, because we had the engineers here during the break trying to get the graphics fixed.
Yes.
And number two, I'm going to go ahead and punch it, and then if it doesn't work, Bri, you can do it for me. Oh, look at that. It did work. Okay, we are announcing today on our 2-year anniversary a cool new feature. It's viewer voicemail 602-262-0428. Dave, that was the best phone number you could get us?
Yeah.
Huh?
That was the one. That was the one that we paid a lot of money to secure the rights to that phone number.
Yeah.
A lot of other businesses wanted it. I said, no way.
Did. They're like, hey, what can you do to get us that 0428? Ring-a-ling-a-ling. Anyway, here's the whole situation, Celeste. Now you guys can communicate with us 2 different ways.
Yeah.
Live during YouTube, and at the same time, of course, we don't want you to stop doing that. We love that.
Yeah.
But if you have like your thoughts, we would love for you to send us a viewer voicemail. Pick up your phone right now. Call that number.
Yeah.
And Celeste, at least for today, until we hit on a hot topic, let's make today Ask Us Anything.
Oh, yeah. We love that. Ask us anything.
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 Yeah.
Like anything.
Correct.
Even if it seems inappropriate. It doesn't mean we're going to answer, but you can ask us anything.
Oh, Celeste,
Like,
we're
I
going to
don't
get
know.
that one weirdo who wants to comment about your feet. We don't. That dude can just not hang out with us. Okay?
We've gotten so many emails about that, about the camera angle.
Dave, hold on. What are you cracking up about?
I try to keep those emails private. I don't know if we should be sharing them with our audience.
Okay, good. Well, anyway.
Speaking of OnlyFans.
Viewer voicemail. It's the newest feature. And I bet you anything Dave has figured out how to access it.
Yes.
And so Dave, let's be super interactive. That's what makes this show, I think, number one. We're immediately interactive with YouTube. If we get somebody in the next, say, 3 or 4 minutes, can you turn it around for like 10:50? Can you turn it around in 15 minutes? What's that, Dave? Hold on. We're going to go to Dave. What, buddy? What?
It just depends on how appropriate it is.
Okay.
If there's a good voicemail. But our goal is to do one of these every single day. So we'll give you guys stories to comment on. You can call, leave your voicemail. It goes directly to me.
Yeah.
I'll be able to download it, attach it to that full screen that you saw. It'll be a lot of fun. So we hope you call.
Yeah, one of the most powerful men in Phoenix TV, and you can reach him directly. Big D. So anyway, let's try it today.
Oh, hold on. What'd you say, Dave?
Oh, hang on.
I have 2 voicemails to listen to already.
Okay,
so
good.
I'm very busy.
Okay, so I think we might be able to turn them by the end of the show.
I'll tell you what we'll do then. Dave, let's go to you right now. Here's a poll question. Okay, so, these numbers moved around a lot. We don't generally see this, but now that the Clintons are going to go under oath, 60% are saying, good. Finally, Bill Clinton has to answer under oath what he did or maybe didn't do with Epstein. But now almost 30% are saying there are a lot more men who need to go under oath. The Democrats, they want Trump to, testify. The Republicans, they want Clinton to testify. People are trying to score political points on this. And so it's a good third option there. What about all these other names that are starting to surface? So we would love to know what you think about that. YouTube, Celeste, looks like...
We've got 1,000 votes in 1 hour.
Okay.
Folks feel very strongly about this. So right now, good, Clinton must finally answer for his ties to Epstein, 34%. Just trying to distract us from Trump's connection to Epstein, 18%. And then more men must testify. Much more remains to be uncovered. That one is winning at this hour. 48% are voting in that direction.
All right, so here's Dave real quick with a couple of comments.
Yeah, and I want to say we have 4 voicemails already. I will listen to them all, and we'll see when we can debut our first one.
Sweet. Okay.
Glenn Cordova, 4027, asks, why hasn't the DOJ released all the files? Why are the names of the perpetrators hidden? Bill Long, 8385, says they'll only answer pre-approved questions that are submitted in advance. Typical congressional dog and pony show with hand-wringing, pontificating, and feigned shock. Nothing will get solved. Stephen Rappin says Bill Clinton has said release the files unredacted because he has nothing to hide, unlike Trump. And finally, Marilyn Scott says the Clintons have been known to lie, so either they will take the fifth or give some version of their truth. Hopefully the Oversight Committee brings the documented evidence. All these hearings do is get it on the record. Really interesting comments. Keep them up, everybody.
All of a sudden, I had a flashback to Bill Clinton under oath.
Yeah.
That goes all the way back to the Monica Lewinsky. This will actually be fascinating. I mean, you could certainly go with, in a lawyerly way, well, I just don't recall, right? I mean, we could be getting a lot of that.
Could you plead the fifth?
Maybe.
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. All right. Well, although if that happens... Set off the alarm bells. There'll be a lot more to talk about.
Oh, my goodness, absolutely.
Celeste, your story today with Dr. Mike was fascinating.
Yeah.
And for all the women in our audience and for all the men who love their ladies, I think it's worth replaying this morning because it was really fascinating.
Oh, good, Ron. I'm glad you think so. It was menopause and this new study that has a lot to do with dementia and Alzheimer's and the gray matter in women's brains. So let's take a look at this. Menopause is linked to changes in the brain similar to those seen in Alzheimer's. This is according to a pretty large study. Researchers say the loss of gray matter in areas involved with memory and emotion may partly explain why women are generally more at risk for dementia than men.
So to help break us down this new study is our BFF, part of the Fox medical team, Dr. Mike. Good morning, Dr. Mike.
Hello there. How are you guys doing? Ty, Celeste, I brought my brain with me so I can illustrate what's going on. I got it from the brain bank, Abby Normal. That's my brain right here. Anyway, so basically, when women go through menopause, not only do they suffer from a decline in estrogen leading to hot flashes, memory loss, but they also have remodeling of the brain. They have a decline in gray matter, and they also, we find that there are differences in the way that the nerve cells communicate with each other, and it really has an impact on that. Now, what's interesting, some of the changes that you see on the brain when women are going through menopause can also affect or be part of that brain area when you have Alzheimer's. And it's interesting because women who go through early menopause have a significantly increased risk of developing dementia like Alzheimer's. So it's a fascinating connection there that may guide us for treatments, especially when it comes to dementia. But look, for some women, they need some estrogen. It's got to be within about 10 years of onset of symptoms and not past 60, because as you get older, the risk-benefit ratio changes. That's what most experts are now saying.
So is it just the estrogen, or when women start to go through, like, for example, perimenopause, right? You get blood work done, they're checking your testosterone, progesterone, all those different things. Did the study mention if any of those other things may help in the fight against a potential dementia or Alzheimer's?
Well, certainly besides hormone therapy, which we talked about. And by the way, that's a very individual discussion because some people can't take hormone therapies. You got to talk with somebody. Bottom line is exercise, more sleep, using your brain. All the things we tell everybody, men and women, you need to do. That may help you a great deal. And you mentioned that early transition phase, that's where we start to see these things. And so you want to jump on it early, especially in early menopause, because you may benefit from that hormone therapy. It all started many years ago with the Women's Health Initiative, but now there seems to be data that earlier on is a good, it may help a lot of people and may be a good thing.
Oh, okay, great. Dr. Mike, thank you so much.
We appreciate it. Good info there.
Have a great day. We love you.
Listen, not just regular blueberries. I switched to wild blueberries.
Oh.
You always bring up blueberries. Wild blueberries.
He is hilarious.
He is.
He's yelling at the microphone.
And he says blueberries because he eats a pint of blueberries every day, and he claims that is really what keeps him going. Yeah. Has lots of vitamins, antioxidants.
Now, you guys in the chat can tell me if you can relate to this. I don't think I would be allowed to eat a pint of blueberries every day. You want to know why?
Why is that?
Because it's 100% of the time, Renee looks at me right afterwards and she's like, honey, look at your teeth. you look like you have no teeth. Because does Gary get this? Is it just me? When he eats blueberries or anybody else
I guess it's not just blueberries. I think it's like blackberries, raspberries. Stuff just gets stuck in there.
I know.
And sometimes Ron, sometimes you'll eat and sometimes I'll like Ron.
Yeah, I know.
When we would anchor together, I'm like, you have something on your lips, like a little peanut crumb.
I am the worst at that for sure. Ladies and gentlemen, let's look at Baltimore.
Instead.
For 2 minutes. As they say on YouTube, enjoy the zen.
Oh.
Look at the ice in that harbor. Where's Fort McHenry? We'll be right back, everybody. Thanks for hanging out with us. Brian, our director, says Inner Harbor of Baltimore is super cool to go explore. Not only are you just a few miles away from Fort McHenry, where the Star Spangled Banner was written, but you also have like a inner harbor kind of waterway taxi.
Ooh.
It takes you to some cool cobblestone streets nearby.
Wow. Okay.
And if I recall, Camden Yards, where the Baltimore Orioles play, is just almost right across the street.
That reminds me of Yards. Park the car.
See? Oh, Syleste. Now, we can't lose you for the show. Get back with me.
Park the car.
What is so funny about park the car? That's Boston. It's about 800 miles away, but your point is? Oh, here we go. So this is what happens. We just actually lose Syleste. I'm afraid she's going to fall over.
Well, you just said yards, so I just lost it.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, because that is the Bostonian.
Park the car at Harvard Yard.
Yeah, yes.
Correct. You know who I always think of who was like perfect with the New England accent was Rose Kennedy, the mother of Bobby and JFK.
Oh, wow.
She had the New England. I think everybody else in Massachusetts patterned their lingo after her.
Oh, how cool is that? That's pretty cool.
So we are efforting. That's a word you only hear in the news biz. We are efforting one of our very first viewer voicemails today. We may get it for you in the next 15 minutes. We'll let you know.
That's right. So if you're just joining, by the way, or you're watching on television, you can go to YouTube, go to Fox 10 Phoenix, go to live. You'll see the little live button, and we're right there, and you can join us, and you can join the chat from like your phone or your laptop or something like that while you're watching on television or watching on your Fox Local app. So we'd love to connect with you guys.
Okay, Burger Boy says made a banana custard last night. By the way, who was just saying they're watching from Deltona, Florida?
Ooh.
It just scrolled up.
Okay, let me see if I can find that person. Somebody's watching in Tucson.
Yes.
Hop to it.
Yes. Good.
It is Tucson. Steph Lacey's in Payson.
Yeah.
Burger Boy's in Payson.
Okay, we're strong in Payson.
Yes, we are.
Believe me, I've asked the boss if we can move the whole TV station up there. So far, no. But go ahead, Syleste.
They've got a great bashes with fresh donuts.
Oh, the ladies there. I'm sure there are a couple of gentlemen I haven't met yet, but I have been at that bashes. If you get there early and you can get the maple bars before they sell out.
So good.
Unbeatable.
Okay.
Anyway, let's talk a little bit about, because it's still a huge thing. The people in Gilbert, I am not saying they are up in arms. I am not necessarily saying they're really angry, but I understand the frustration they're dealing with because the town can't seem to figure out how much they want to keep raising the water rates by.
I think they need a new accountant because they're really not budgeting correctly. They've already raised, I believe, the water rates 3 times in the last. Well, they're looking at it now in the last couple of years.
Yeah,
this would be the third.
3 times. Yeah. Okay.
This would be the third.
Yeah.
But they raised it by a lot.
50% in
6 months ago.
24.
Yeah.
Right.
So it would be interesting to actually take a look at their numbers.
Yeah.
Like, what are you basing this on, and where's the money going?
So who was in charge like 5 years ago or 8 years ago or 10 years ago when maybe the first issues popped up where you're like, we have really got to invest in our infrastructure?
Yeah.
There are a lot of unanswered questions. But to follow up a 50% increase with this new proposal of 25%.
It's a lot.
Here is what people are saying out Gilbert way. We were out there chatting with folks.
You know, water's hard to get in Arizona. Gilbert isn't the only place that's happening, but we're the only place seeing the rise in costs so drastically.
Well, everyone I've talked to around my neighborhood feels exactly the same way. It's completely outrageous. I understand they have to fix the infrastructure, so, I don't have a problem with that. I'm just thinking they could cut costs in other areas is what I was hoping.
So that people feel like everybody's kind of sharing equally in this really unfortunate situation.
Yeah, I really feel for folks who live out. If you're in Gilbert, I mean, it's tough. Like, I can't imagine. And especially right now when folks are really trying to put food on the table and maybe you're looking for a new job and you're dealing with something you really can't control.
Okay, we're going to keep on top of it, that's for sure. Maybe they'll dial this one back, or maybe they'll just come forward with full transparency to say, look, we first realized there was a problem in such and such a date.
Yeah.
We probably should have been more on top of it. Or, look, we realized 10 years ago we just didn't want to raise the water. There's more to the story.
Maybe we should ask if their accountant will come on with us here.
There you go.
We could ask.
Okay.
Show us the numbers.
Celeste, I know a story you wanted to talk about this morning is the fact that SUVs are now not that they're going by the wayside, but ladies and gentlemen, the minivan is back.
So sales jumped 21% last year, hitting their highest market share since 2019. If you got a minivan, slide into our chat this morning and let us know, what do you love about your minivan? We don't own one, but when we travel with the kids, we do rent one. And I will say it is very roomy. And the doors open on their own, and they have all the bells and whistles that you need. Analysts say millennials are ditching the, quote, cool SUV look for pure practicality. But here's the real surprise for all of you. Men in their 40s are driving the minivan. Swapping sports cars for adventure vans is what they're calling them. Not minivans, but adventure vans. Really kind of, decked out with off-road tires. Can you imagine off-road tires?
Yeah, well.
Rooftop tents for the ultimate camping rig.
Yeah.
It's amazing. I thought it was so cool. And I think you called it, Ron, a swagger wagon.
Did I come up with that?
Or was it just me?
I think it was just you. But there was a TV commercial. I bet you this was 10 years ago now, but in the chat, you can tell us if you remember. It's one of the best ever. And it's all these guys pumping iron at the gym, which I do some of that, Celeste.
Yes, you do.
I mean, I'm trying to keep this physique, in tip-top shape.
I don't even know how you're fitting into that shirt anymore. Bust it out.
I almost stretched it. So there was an ad, or it was a commercial in TV, and the guy's lifting weights like this, and there's about 4 or 5 other huge dudes next to him looking in front of the mirror. And the guy comes on the loudspeaker at the gym and says, "There's a minivan with its lights on in the parking lot. License plate, blah, 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 blah. With the owner of the minivan," and all these dudes are looking around, and nobody's willing to admit it's theirs. It's pretty funny. It was a fantastic ad.
Yeah, well, I think it's hilarious that they're like huge off-road tires on these minivans. Yeah. But they do have all the bells and whistles, Ron. They come with even leather.
Well, it's all true. And I will just say, being the grandfather of 8, so I have 3 kids, and 2 of my kids are the ones with the 8 grandkids. Yeah. And there are not enough minivan options out there, and they're too expensive.
Yeah.
Because you're raising a family, you're like, give me a low-cost model.
Yeah.
Anyway, Celeste, we'll see. But apparently SUVs are like holding the line, but minivan sales are soaring.
Yeah, I told Ron he needs one. He can call it the Pop Swagger Wagon.
Okay, good. Now, ladies and gentlemen, we are so happy on our 2-year anniversary.
Happy anniversary, everyone.
Play our brand new feature.
God bless you. Wow.
We don't have a sneeze button up here, I just realized. Anyway, are you ready for the debut of our very first viewer voicemail?
Let's do it.
Okay, now it's going to be SOP 4, which I will play. And then do we have the graphic up here of viewer voicemail so you guys can? Oh, it's attached to it.
Okay.
Here we go. Ladies and gentlemen, without any further ado, on the 2-year anniversary, the rollout on day 1 of viewer voicemail.
Okay, guys, it's me, Melinda. Obviously, you're going to hear yourselves talking in the background because I have you on. But a question I've always wondered is, do anchors keep their ties at the station so they can always match with the other anchors' dresses? I hope that makes sense. Okay, love you guys. You're awesome. Talk to you later. Bye.
First of all, you're awesome, too.
Thank you, Melinda, for watching and sharing.
Yeah, how would you
calling.
answer this question, Celeste? Do you know the answer?
I think that early in my career, I think there were a lot. I would have like 5 dresses at work.
Yes.
And I would see men with several ties.
Yeah. You don't see it so much anymore.
But you don't see it very much anymore. Like we just kind of wear some, and I have a backup dress that I keep at my desk and sometimes in my car.
Right.
I live out of my car, but
right, of course you do.
But with kids. But Ron, what are your thoughts on Melinda's
I was
question?
going to see Big D. If you had a second on one of these cams to zoom into my phone. Because here is the answer to that very question. Ready? Oh, okay.
Here we go.
Perfectly.
Here we go.
On number one. Come on,
Yes.
zoom right into the old telephone here. Dave, thank you very much.
Telefono.
Ready? As soon as you zoom in, I'll show it.
Oh, you have to press.
I got to punch it.
Yeah.
Right.
Press.
Okay, ready?
Uh-huh.
Here we go. What am I
There's the green screen.
I feel like... What is happening?
It's
Okay.
happening.
Oh, the green screen's trying to go green.
Yeah.
Anyway, Dave, are you able to kind of focus on? No, apparently not. No.
Yeah, it's not
Okay.
gonna work.
Well, maybe we could do it tomorrow. The answer, ladies and gentlemen.
Can I hear you? Is your mic on?
Oh, sorry.
There you go.
The answer, look, is
right
me
there.
right there. That's 5 o'clock at night, or right around sunset, and I'm still in my tie. I had to take Mason, my grandson, to his football practice yesterday, and I said, look at the sunset.
Oh.
A report from Queen Creek at sunset.
Yeah.
I mean,
so beautiful.
It is. I have days sometimes where I never really get out of my tie because I'm so busy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So are you like you're on the football field in the tie? Are you calling the plays?
No, this is Mason's team. So that's I coach my team on Tuesdays and Thursdays. So that'll be this afternoon and then on Thursday. The Mighty Titans. But anyway.
And I get in my jammies as soon as I get home.
I wonder why. Yeah. By the way, we hope a few of you guys are in your jammies.
We
comfortable hanging out with us on YouTube. I don't know why people are not wearing their ties or bringing like multiple ties.
Or like to be matchy.
The only time that like one day last week, I had a tie that had a little bit of green in it. So I brought a backup tie.
Yeah.
That's the only time I think I
Because when we come in here, it's a green screen. So
Correct.
why you're doing,
Correct.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I sometimes wear green anyway, but I'll have like a little shawl.
I know. And then
or
when
a
the
little
shawl
sweater.
comes off and Celeste disappears, it's like the best thing you've ever seen.
It's just like a dancing head.
Yeah,
it's like a
for
horror movie.
Let's see. Let's say goodbye with this video right here. We have more frozen iguana video.
Okay.
Which, by the way, the state of Florida is like, look, you're supposed to not touch these things, but it will make an exception because they're lying in the middle of the road. These are the frozen iguanas of Florida. Remember, we have one of our faithful new viewers at Deltona Beach, and this is what happens. So they don't want to run over them, so they say, okay, go pick them up, and we'll all be fine with it. And one guy actually picked up a bunch of them, Celeste.
It is so crazy.
And
oh my gosh.
Put iguanas all over himself because he wanted to go viral.
Oh, well, he succeeded.
Can you believe that?
That is crazy.
All right, we got to go.
Thanks for watching, everyone. See you tomorrow.
Okay, welcome back in, everyone. This is a very, very sensitive, difficult story to talk about. And we do want to warn everyone the content is incredibly tough, as are the images. But this is a very important story to share in the sense that we don't want this to keep happening again.
All right, so we have the public information officer from Glendale PD, Jose, joining us here via Zoom. And as Anita mentioned, the details surrounding this horrific child abuse case, I mean, I have never read anything like it before, and I've been in this industry for quite a while. I can only imagine what your responding officers are thinking and going through this morning after responding to that call. For our viewers that maybe don't know what we're talking about, can you give us just a brief rundown, Jose, of exactly what happened?
Yeah, I can tell you that last Thursday, our officers were responding to the area near 67th Avenue, in Bethany Home Road, and basically a passerby was walking by an apartment and saw a child that appeared to be naked in a window. That was actually very concerning for that passerby. They called us. Our officers responded, and they came in contact with the woman that you see there on your screen, Sarah Jackson. She was sitting outside. They asked her about whether or not she knew that the child was in the window in that shape, and she said that the child frequently went into the window. She couldn't control the child. The officer asked if he could go ahead and maybe see the child and see the condition of the apartment. She did allow the officer inside, and when they walked in, as you guys mentioned, it was a horrific sight. They found human waste quite literally throughout the entire apartment. There was a 4-year-old and a 6-year-old, both male children. Both of them were cognitively impaired, meaning neither one of them had ever really had a lot of outside contact. They had never been to school. Neither had seen a doctor since the day they were born. Neither child could properly communicate. They both had remnants of human waste on themselves. Neither were dressed. They were kept in a bedroom with basically a homemade cage. You can see from those photos, it was baby gates that they zip tied together to cage them into a room as if they were animals, to be put bluntly. But as we mentioned yesterday when we spoke to members of the media, a lot of animals were treated better than these children were treated. The mother really showed no signs of any kind of remorse. I mean, she told our officers that she was overwhelmed with the children, and that was the way that they kept the children. She told our officers they were kept in those conditions 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Although the children were properly fed, they had no access to a bathroom. The bathroom that was connected to that bathroom was zip-tied shut. And the children were never properly trained to use a bathroom. So this was just really horrific conditions that these children were kept in.
Jose, I'm looking at the police report, and as you mentioned, the mother, Sarah, said, quote, "I'm a bad mom. Sometimes I'm overwhelmed and I don't have the motivation." We are talking about child abuse charges here. I know that there were 2 weapons found, a 9mm. One of that weapons was found under the pillow, loaded, where the boys were sitting on the bed. Will there be additional charges? Do we expect that there will be any other charges given the circumstances?
As you can imagine, this is really early on in our stages of investigating. Our detectives are still looking into all possibilities of charges. Once they complete their investigation, all of those will be submitted to the county attorney's office, and it'll be on to them to figure out exactly how many charges these individuals will be facing. As you mentioned earlier, a lot of this was traumatizing to our officers. They were traumatized by what they witnessed these children were experiencing. This was a really horrific situation for these officers to walk into. They had to take safety precautions in order to enter the particular apartment. We can tell you that particular apartment has been condemned by the city because of the conditions that the apartment was seen in. Both of these individuals were taken into custody. The father of these 2 children arrived a couple of hours after our officers were there on the scene. He told our officers that when he got home from work, and he said he worked upwards of 9 hours a day, the children were released from that bedroom situation. That was contradictory to the statements made by their mother. He said that they were released whenever he got home. Their mother, on the other hand, did say those children remained in those conditions 24 hours a day, 7 days a week.
Jose, do you know if you guys had ever responded to any calls for service at that address before this weekend?
From what we have been able to research, we had never responded to any calls prior to that. We understand that this particular family had only been living there since 2023. Again, these children were 4 and 6. We are unaware of exactly how long they had been treating their children this way. But again, the mother was very forthcoming. They had never seen a doctor. They really had never really had any kind of outside contact with anyone. She explained how overwhelmed she was by the situation with her children. So again, this was just a situation that these parents really just didn't know what to do with these children.
A reminder, all our viewers, you can join us on YouTube. You can also ask questions, which we do have one. This is from Darren Lloyd, Jose. Let me see if I can find that one. Goodness. Okay. What are we going to do about making the system more efficient, about handling calls when teachers or people are constantly calling about a situation with the child? In this case, you mentioned we had not received calls, but I think a lot of people are sitting here listening to this information thinking there were neighbors. How did we not know? How did we not smell? When you look at the photos of the inside of that apartment and you read that report, it said that the little boys were literally covered in human feces. The walls were covered in human feces. And that's what we're looking at right now. And that the little boys were never potty trained. What leads to a possible prevention of stuff like this?
Well, I know that we can tell you that when we spoke to some of the neighbors told us they were not even aware that children were in that apartment. They were kept in such seclusion. A lot of the window coverings were up in the apartment. It wasn't until this particular person happened to walk by and saw the child in the window that we were first alerted. We don't know how neighbors, as you mentioned, were not able to smell anything. We know that there was an insect infestation as well. So we're surprised that insect infestation did not spread to other apartments as well, and neighbors weren't making complaints about that. But this is a classic case of when you see something, say something. And we are thankful that this particular person did see something and say something. We want to stress to people that even the slightest bit of information that may seem like something that may not seem like much to you could potentially lead to helping rescue individuals like it did for these 2 children.
Sure.
Let us be the judge of that. No little piece of information is too little for us. You can even call the non-emergency line if you don't think it's worthy of a 911 call. That's 623-930-3000. Call that non-emergency line. Let us be the judge of whether or not we should send someone out there to do a welfare check.
Jose, I know this is probably, you might be able to direct us in the right direction, but what happens to these 2 little boys now? Obviously, they're in the custody of the state, but do we have any information on how they're doing now that they are safe and clean and in a much better, safer situation?
From what we understand, they did not appear to have suffered any physical abuse other than what we have already mentioned about them being kept in seclusion and in the conditions that they were in. When they were checked out at the local hospital, they did not see any other signs of physical abuse. The state has them in custody. We are unaware of any other family members that could potentially take these children into custody. This is going to be a long road of recovery if you think about it for these children. They weren't developing at the rate that children should be developing. They had no proper speech pattern. The 4-year-old could not speak at all. That's not something that is common for any 4-year-old. At 4, you should be able to carry on a conversation with an adult. The 6-year-old could speak certain words but could not form complete sentences. So again, these children developmentally are not where they should be. They are probably unaware of how they should be treated or the proper type of human contact. We know there was a family pet in that apartment. That family pet was also taken into custody. And surprisingly, the family pet seemed to be treated better than their actual children were treated. The family pet had free run of the house. The family pet was well fed and actually was being cared for by the mother. When we arrived, she was actually petting it and loving on it while her children were still trapped inside the apartment.
Wow.
It's definitely difficult to grasp. You know, when you look at those pictures and you think a 4-year-old child who didn't have any clothes on, didn't know how to use the bathroom, didn't know how to talk. It's a difficult thing to grasp. That's a tough job for you guys as well. Thank you.
Yeah, we appreciate your time, Jose. We appreciate it.
We'll
Thank you.
continue to check in, too. Thanks.
All right, so our next guest here this morning, we have Dr. Mandeep Rai.
Hi, doctor.
And you are a doctor at Banner Health, but you're also part of the infectious diseases team, and that's kind of your specialty.
Right.
And we decided to bring you on here this morning because last week, a lot of international headlines were coming out of India about this new virus that was going around called the Nipah virus, correct?
So it's not really a new virus.
Okay.
It has been around for nearly 30 years.
Oh, wow.
So it was discovered in Malaysia about 30 years ago in a small remote village. There was a bunch of pigs not feeling well, and then their humans in contact with them rapidly became ill. And, and then that's why the word Nipah comes from. It's from the village where it was first isolated.
Okay.
So it's about, we've had tiny outbreaks of the virus now for the last 30 years. Because it is so rapidly fatal, it gets recognized early, the measures get put in, and it gets contained. In India, we've had it now for the last 20, 25 years. We've had a total of about 100, 110 cases diagnosed, recognized. There are about 2 or 3 cases that get recognized every year.
Wow.
Okay, just 2 or 3. I mean, I'm putting things in perspective here.
No, we like to have things in
Right?
perspective.
Yeah. So, doctor, we're going to take a break.
Okay.
We have a 2-minute break that we have to do, and then we're going to continue talking about that and then ask a couple of questions. Thank
Perfect.
you. Okay.
You're welcome.
We'll be right back, everyone, really quickly.
Perfect.
All right, welcome back, everybody. We were just having a conversation off air because it's such an interesting topic. We're talking about the Nipah virus. Couple of people been around for a while.
Right.
A doctor has been telling us, and it's just kind of isolated right now in a small portion of India. But a lot of these airports I was reading, I think it was Bangkok, some of these other big airports where they have a lot of travel to and from that particular area have been doing screening checks and things like that. So I guess what are the symptoms of this Nipah virus?
You know what? People get rapidly ill from it. So the incubation period and all that is not very long. It starts off as the flu-like illness, and then people will rapidly get headaches, and they'll start getting, like symptoms suggestive of meningitis or stuff like that.
When you say rapidly, are we talking
days?
Okay,
days.
Not a couple of hours, but within a couple days, you're developing these symptoms.
Yeah. So what happens is, if there was going to be an outbreak, it'll get recognized quickly and it'll get contained. And that's what's happened in India over the last, 20 years, or in other parts where sometimes people see it in Malaysia or in Thailand, So, and then it's not, I guess everybody's scared. Is this going to be the next pandemic? And I want to put everybody's minds at ease. The risk of this being the next pandemic is really low. Number one, it has a high case fatality ratio, which means that a lot of patients who get it, they die. And when that happens, it means that, folks are dying before it can even get transmitted.
They can't spread.
And it gets recognized early enough. People put draconian measures. What's happened in the last 20 years in all these countries where, there'll be an outbreak, 2-3 patients get diagnosed with it, everything gets isolated, and then the transmission dies off.
Yeah. And I know probably this is not the right way to look at this, but I think we are so familiar with COVID because we lived through that.
Right.
And we learned that COVID was transferred because it was an airborne illness, virus.
Right.
How is the Nipah virus transferred?
So it is thought that the fruit bats, the saliva from the fruit bats is what contains the virus. So, that fruit that has the saliva on it has to be either eaten or the virus has to get aerosolized and get, you breathe ingested or somehow. So it's not easily transmissible. Okay. And human to human transmission is not as efficient as was COVID's. So I really want to set your mind at rest,
Well, that's why we brought you.
If you're going to India, go enjoy yourself.
You start reading more and more, and you start seeing more reports, and you're thinking, okay, what do we need to look out for? Let's talk really quickly about the symptoms, because this is what's difficult for me. Flu symptoms, headache, aches, coughing, sneezing, cold symptoms, headache, COVID. They all have similar symptoms.
No, but it would progress rapidly to confusion.
Right.
Neck stiffness.
Right.
You being, not you. Like a person.
Not
being,
me.
Not you. Not you. But somebody being out of it.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Right.
No,
you'll know.
You're going to be You're going to be sicker than with flu.
Sure.
Absolutely.
Sure. If anyone is traveling that way, are there vaccines?
No, there are no vaccines. There's no vaccines.
Nothing.
The testing is only.
Years.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow.
So it's not. It has not been perceived to be a big enough risk. Think about it.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So the likelihood of a tourist going to that part of those parts in India or Malaysia, which have very low, incidence of ongoing Nipah virus, is extremely unlikely. A tourist is, these are not this is deep in the, the hot, humid parts where, how often you end up going to a place infested with bats.
Sure.
Right?
Yeah, unless you're an adventurer, maybe, possibly.
Or even, so.
Someone is asking on the chat here, is it treatable if patients get medical help as quickly as they might
as
start
long as there's
symptoms?
supportive treatment,
Sure.
to carry them through the acute phase. The patients who, they might be left with some long-term neurological, symptoms and stuff throughout.
I think that was the other thing that was kind of scary is because they said it's like a 40 to 75% fatality rate if you get Nipah.
You're not going to survive this?
Then let's put it in perspective. In India, a country of 2 billion, we have had only 118 cases over the last 25 years.
That does help.
Don't panic.
Don't panic.
Don't panic.
See, this is why we brought you in.
We appreciate your optimism and information. We're going to have you back on again soon.
For sure.
Perfect. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. It was nice to meet you.
Appreciate it. We've got a great photo of your pups.
I got to find them. I'm not sure where they are.
Okay, we're going to find the photo. But don't forget, if you are watching on television, you can go to YouTube, and then you can ask our... We thought we had a photo up. This is our next guest. Ta-da!
Hello.
Dr. Klein, hi. Okay, this is the photo we're looking for, and this is our next topic. But reminder, please ask questions. We love interacting with everyone, and we love giving out a little bit. Well, we love when our experts give out a little bit of advice. You want to introduce our screen guest?
Yeah, this is Stuart, my golden retriever. He is such a good dog, except for sometimes he likes to do what I think is commonly referred to as a little counter surfing.
Oh.
So on the left, he found a trail mix that was left open.
There's chocolate in that.
There's
and raisins.
And raisins. But you know what? He didn't eat those. He just wanted the peanuts.
Okay. Which he picked through?
Refined palate.
Yeah. And then on the right were some habanero peppers. That
Hot?
just so happened to
Hot?
be.
Oh,
yeah,
hot?
they're hot.
Okay, wait, where's the butter?
Oh, I didn't have pictures of the butter, but Stuart also ate a whole thing of stick of butter.
The butter one time. I
ate
remember
the butter, but he was fine. So either Stewie has a stomach made of steel.
He's got an iron
Which could be.
Yeah, definitely.
But we wanted to chat, Dr. Klein, a little bit about what happens, and we have so many of our viewers at home who have pets. They love their pet. What happens when your pet eats something they shouldn't be eating?
Yeah, good question. Happens all the time.
Oh, I'm sure.
Yeah, all the time. I mean, I would say my best piece of advice would be give your vet a call. Let them know what your pet has gotten into, and they can advise you either way of what you need to do. Sometimes they're getting into something that isn't going to harm them, and you can watch and wait and monitor at home. And sometimes if there's something toxic, we will definitely let you know about that and let you know to come in and induce vomiting in a lot of cases.
We were talking just a few minutes ago, and there's quite a few that every pet owner should know about that are definitely a no-no. And we talked about it. Chocolate is a big one.
Yes.
I didn't know grapes.
Yeah, no grapes.
Yeah, a lot of people don't know grapes. I've had a lot of people that have been like, oh, I give my dog a grape all the time. And I'm like, stop, please.
Okay, so it's grapes and raisins.
Grapes and raisins, both can be toxic. Chocolate, of course, is a big one. Dark chocolate.
Macadamia nuts.
Yeah, macadamia nuts can be an issue. Onions and garlic are not things that we recommend. Sometimes in small quantities, most pets will be okay, but if they got into a lot, we'd want to know. And then the other big ones would be sugar-free things that contain xylitol. That is a big one. So a lot of times like multivitamin gummies or sugar-free gum, those oftentimes have xylitol. That can be really toxic. And then marijuana edibles obviously are another hot take.
Yeah,
we've had another one. Yep.
Silly question, but what if you make like a beef stew and you have chopped onions and garlic in there that have cooked through, and you give your pup a little bowl?
Good question. But you could see things like GI upset, from really any human food potentially, depending upon how sensitive the dog is.
Did Stewie have any GI issues?
You know what? That's why I keep saying he's got the stomach of iron, because he was totally fine. I was like, anytime he got up, I was like, oh, he's got to go let those habaneros out. But he never
I would be bracing
did.
for that too. Good. Well, I'm glad.
I was really worried for him, but
I was very worried for him too.
Yeah. I wouldn't be able to handle that.
No, right? And Dr. Klein, I was going to ask you too, does it depend on the size of your dog? Obviously, Stu's a big fat thing.
Sure, yeah, I understand.
If you have like a little tiny chihuahua or something.
I will say, typically the size of the animal does play an impact. And so a lot of times, especially with some toxic things, not all, but like chocolate, for example, a big dog oftentimes will fare better than a smaller dog will.
Okay.
So yes.
I want to ask you about what chocolate does, because I heard some interesting things. Mike Lewis, 21, is mentioned like spicy chili as well.
Oh, yeah.
Houseplants can cause some problems.
Yeah, they can sometimes. As far as, anything spicy, primarily you're dealing with GI signs. So vomiting and diarrhea could be a very common thing. There are some
carpet cleaner out.
Yeah. Get ready. Be prepared. Definitely. No white sheets that night or anything like that.
Gosh, you guys, too much information.
And then houseplants, certain ones can be toxic.
So I think I read, or maybe a vet told me, that chocolate can act almost like there are certain drugs on people, like a speed almost?
Yeah,
Is
like
that
a
true?
stimulant, basically.
Really?
Yes.
So what happens to that?
So what we can see, definitely GI upset can be a thing, but other things we can see when they've gotten into a lot of chocolate, we can see an increased heart rate, some of these dogs can become hyper-excitable or agitated. Sometimes we can see arrhythmias, so changes in the heart rhythm. And we can see just kind of dogs who have an abnormal behavior, essentially. And so a lot of times if we are worried about a true toxicity, we're doing supportive care to try to help them through that and close monitoring of their vital signs.
That's what I was going to ask. If you do have to bring your dog in, I guess, what do you do? What are some of the first things that you're looking for to make sure that the dog is not in crisis?
Yeah, absolutely. Good question. So vital signs are definitely important. So we're checking heart rate, we're checking body temperature, making sure that all those things are normal. Alongside with that, a lot of times with certain things, we'll recommend blood work. So like raisins and grapes, checking kidney values are going to be very important. With chocolate, we keep a close eye on liver values a lot of times. So doing some blood work definitely is something that we often recommend. And again, if a pet got into something recently and we can intervene quickly before digestion starts, we can always make them vomit. And that is a really good thing to do.
Go ahead.
I had a friend who had a little pitty who had very upset tummy, and they took her into the doctor's office, and it ended up that she ate a rope of some type.
Oh, yeah.
They didn't know how or where.
Sure.
They had to surgically remove it. And even the healing process itself. What are some of the strangest things that you have seen?
I bet you've seen a lot of good stuff, haven't you, Dr. Klein?
I've seen some good things. Definitely fair share of toys, little appendages from teddy bears and things like that. Lots of socks, lots of underwear.
Like whole socks.
Oh, yeah. Whole
They'll
socks.
swallow them whole.
Swallow them whole, vomit them up whole, or you'll do surgery and take them out whole. Underwear. Feminine hygiene products are a big one. There's all sorts of strange things. Yes.
Well, okay, I didn't want to. Well, since it came up, I do have another picture of him carrying my drawers around. But I was like, I'm not going to put that on TV. But
actually, that might make the ratings go up. I don't know.
Dr. Klein, we've got about a minute and a half left, but someone is asking, I have a husky. She gets bored with toys, even ones with treats, and she goes on walks and everything. But how do you keep her entertained when maybe they're not home?
Sure.
And we got something for Stu. It's like a little mat that you can stick treats in it.
Oh, yeah.
So I forgot what it's called.
Like a lick mat kind of a thing.
But that seems to keep
How long
him
does that
entertained.
last?
Yeah.
I mean,
a couple hours.
Yeah, because he'll just go.
He'll just go for it. Yeah. So, I mean, lick mats are great. The Kong variety of toys.
So
you can put,
you
can put, I really recommend doing either like wet food, peanut butter, even water, and freezing it so that you've got a block of something that's frozen that takes them a couple hours to get through. And then biggest thing they can do is just lots of mental stimulation when they're home with their pet to really try to tire them out when they leave.
We've got 30 seconds. How do folks find you?
So I'm at Ingleside Animal Hospital in Arcadia. Our phone number is available online, and we're on social media. So just search for us, and we'll be there.
Dr. Klein, thanks for always coming in and being so willing to answer all of our questions.
Thank you.
Someone else mentioned avocado and mushroom, too, real quick. Those are no-nos.
All right, much more ahead, you guys. We got Des and Ron. They're back. We'll be right back.
Ing. Hi, everybody. Ron and Des, 11:30. You're looking at downtown Phoenix, Arizona, but we also have this view from yet another chilly locale, Des.
Yeah.
Let me just check it out here. We'll see what Dean Fizzy. Oh, this is D.C. Okay. That's in that Navy Yard area, just a little bit south of the Capitol. Trying to remember the name of the sandwich joint where I grabbed a sandwich just over there to the left. Anyway, doesn't come to mind.
Ooh, what kind of sandwich? The most important question.
Yeah. I don't even remember. I mean, it was like a I always seem to get the same, like
was like
turkey.
Something basic.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'll always get like a turkey sandwich. How about you? If you're at do you have a favorite sandwich shop?
Ooh.
I have a local one, which I love, which is called Steve's Crazy Sub. We've talked about it. It's crazy with a K out there in Mesa. And then for the national chains, lately I've really kind of been about Jimmy John's. I love Jimmy John's. And then I like Jersey Mike's. Lately I've been but it's super expensive. For like a large size sandwich, it could be $14.
Jimmy John's too, and I was craving that when I was pregnant with Demi.
Jimmy John's or
Jimmy John's, yeah.
Jersey Mike.
Jimmy John's.
Okay.
Yeah, and I was probably craving it because you're not supposed to eat lunch meat or processed meat while pregnant.
Okay.
So I
did
had
you not
such
eat a lot of
craving
meat?
for that.
Yeah, during that
Not
time?
processed, no. No lunch meats, no.
Okay.
Yeah. But that was my first meal after I had Demi.
Yes. Oh,
right?
really?
Real fancy.
Yeah. You're like driving home from the hospital and you're like, David, take a left right over here.
Oh, no. I was like, you better go get that immediately. I just did all this work.
Bring it to me. Nice.
Bring it bedside.
That's good.
So I'd go Jimmy John's if I'm going for like a cold cut sandwich.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. And I loved the Jimmy John's chips, the barbecue.
Yeah.
Oof. Have you had them?
That's true. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes,
they're
for
the best
sure.
barbecue chip that was ever made.
You know what I've never tried before? We're doing a little bit of food talk here. We're killing some time until we have some major stories to tell you about. But I have never tried the cheesy fries at In-N-Out. And I had a chance last night, so I had to go pick up my grandson, Mason, from his flag football. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, where should we go hit up on the way home? And so we decided on In-N-Out.
Oh, nice.
He's like, I'm going to get some cheesy fries.
Oh.
But I like the crispy.
Are you talking about the animal style? Fries
no, because those are more loaded. This is just like some cheese poured on top.
Okay, what'd you think?
No, I didn't try them.
Oh, you didn't?
I know, because I had my own fries. And I'm like, well, I'll eat mine. One of these days, that actually looks pretty good. Anyway.
Oh, you'll have to try them. You won't like what I say next.
Which is?
I'm not a fan of In-N-Out.
Yeah, but why is that? I think I know that. I think I knew that.
You know, it just is not that tasty to me.
Wow.
I like Five Guys. It's so good. I don't know, just more flavor in the burger, I think.
Yeah,
so.
when they rolled out the very first In-N-Out, I was just talking with my family about this the other day. Here in town, maybe you guys who've lived here for a long time remember it. It was up on Frank Lloyd Wright, up there near Scottsdale Road.
Okay.
And if I recall, they had to bring the police out to control the traffic. Yeah. So the Valley was in love with those In-N-Out burgers, and I think partly...
a lot of folks love it. Yeah.
Partly because they came out of Cali, and California is the #1 move-in state to Arizona. If you just analyze, where all the moving trucks coming from, because people can sell their house over there, for $800,000 and get practically a mansion over here.
Mansion here, yeah. Works out perfect for them.
And so it's just always been a hit. I feel like we could use some more In-N-Outs.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay.
But anyway, I know you're not on board, but you just don't think it's a good enough burger. All right.
Yeah, no, no. No. Just no.
No, that was some pretty in-depth commentary. Yeah, no, yeah.
Because I'm trying not to get In-N-Out entirely. I don't want to be on their blacklist.
Yeah. Well.
Yeah. But I'm just not a fan. Although, is my husband really? Oh gosh, now I'm throwing him under the bus. What am I doing? But he did say one of his fellow officers goes and likes the Flying Dutchman. So David did try that, and he said that was good.
What is that?
So it's where they do it's an onion bun basically.
Okay.
So they do a whole grilled onion and put your burger and all the toppings in the middle of that.
Now
he said with that it was obviously more flavorful.
Here's what's amazing about that. This is like a deja vu type conversation.
We're really talking about food here today.
Yeah, I know. Well, but you guys love it, right? Do you have here? Let me ask in the chat.
Please don't let me be the only one.
Do you have a favorite sandwich place? It's a local or a chain. And then, do you like In-N-Out, or are you like with Des, where you're like,
Darren likes Jersey Mike's.
Okay.
Louis says food talk always welcome.
Yes,
okay,
for
good.
sure. Thank you, Louis.
And what is that? One Way Street says Buffalo Spot is amazing. They are really good.
Okay.
Buffalo Spot does these loaded fries with cheese, Ron.
Okay,
so you guys
yeah.
cheese and like chicken bites.
Where's it located?
They have them all over.
Buffalo Spot.
Just put Buffalo Spot in your phone. I'm sure you got.
I've never even heard of it.
Yeah, they're really good.
I live such a sheltered life.
Now we got people talking about Olive Garden. Look at this.
Okay.
We're just.
And so, Little Philosophy is saying, I get the Flying Dutchman. So again, we're sitting there in the parking lot, which, did you happen to notice the sunset last night? It was maybe one of the most spectacular in the last year. It was so beautiful.
Oh, no, I missed it.
You were busy with the kids.
Yes, yeah.
But Mason and I sat there in the parking lot. It was the one at Queen Creek, right on Rittenhouse. And we're watching that sunset, and he says, now the only thing left is, he called it a Lost Dutchman. And I'm like, really, I've never heard of it. And he said, no, wait, maybe it's the Flying Dutchman. Because we all know what the Lost Dutchman is.
Yeah.
That is the multi-million-dollar jackpot that one of us is going to hit one of these days, Des. It'll either be you, me, or Big D. I don't know if he's on board. Have you ever searched for the Lost Dutchman gold mine, Dave, in all your time out here?
I haven't, but I'll get right on that.
Good answer. Anyway, so that's all the talk. That's all the In-N-Out talk we have. Yeah. Just to get a little bit more serious with you now, we are standing by. Let me just punch this up right now. We were told to stand by for a news conference out of Tucson. Now, yesterday they were right on time, but this is not unusual to, while they're trying to button up a couple of additional details, to wait just a little while longer in terms of making sure they have all the facts that they want to get out there to the public, because there's great interest not just in Pima County, but all over Arizona. It's a huge story, the disappearance of Savannah's mom, Nancy Guthrie. And so we do hope that they have some new and additional info that we can share. But as the hours go by, the hope fades. And so Savannah went on to social and said, please pray. About the only thing you can do at this point, along with, any info that you can pass along to law enforcement. I did think, Des, it was kind of interesting that one of the reports said that they are going to look for any kind of ring cameras in the neighborhood. Mm-hmm. But my understanding is they have no streetlights in that area. I believe that's by choice. People like the more kind of rural feel of the, where you're in the Catalina foothills. So I don't know, even if a car is driving by, if a ring cam is going to really pick it up or not.
Right. And when you think being in the foothills too, kind of more secluded, right? I mean, that's the whole benefit. You're not right on top of your neighbor. You're not in a heavily populated community. Yeah. But you would think with today's technology, cameras are everywhere.
Yeah, and
so I'm sure they've got to be doing their best to try to scan for any sort of clues as it is coming up on maybe some cameras or devices throughout town or that area there.
It's a really good point, because I know they said, well, we're going to access license plate readers. I know that's been controversial in a couple of towns, but hey, if you're not committing crimes, doesn't bother me if if a police officer, we went to Color Bars. Oh, okay, we're back. Doesn't bother me if I'm parked in a parking lot somewhere and I didn't commit a single crime that entire day. If they want to take a picture of my license plate.
Right. I mean, everybody's obviously entitled to feel, however they feel about it. But I just feel like
if it can help to solve crimes.
I really don't think law enforcement officials would be tracking your just day-to-day trip to the grocery store. Obviously, it's being used in cases like this, and it could prove to be really, really useful. Yeah. But it's just also fascinating that they have come out and said that detectives did collect DNA samples from the home. Yeah. And then that's it. That's kind of like where they lead us, like right to the edge of that cliff. It's, they haven't confirmed what DNA sample was tested, whether it was blood or any other bodily fluid, if it was a piece of hair. But it did come back to be Nancy's, but they haven't said what that DNA sample was. So I'm sure that's obviously one of the questions that reporters will ask.
Yeah. So, you know what? Last hour when we were on this with Irene, who, by the way, she's down there setting up for this news conference. Again, that's coming up, we believe, at any moment. And as soon as it starts, we'll try to get you as much coverage as we can here on our streaming show, Fox 10 Talks. But the license plate readers, to me, that's interesting. Is there a traffic cam? But I don't know, Des, if traffic cams are to the point now. Maybe they can zoom in and see license plates, but I don't think all of them are to that level. So I don't know if that means we got to get more high-def type cameras. Hey, Ronnie, let me just ask one question. Could you take Edge 5 and throw that up on ENG 23? Just doing through a little bit of the lingo here. I want to see what's going on in Washington, because we were told that they were maybe on the verge. Let me pop it up here. That they were on a motion to concur in the Senate amendments. Anyway, there was word that they were getting extremely close to getting the Senate bill passed in the House, and that literally the shutdown could end as soon as like today or tomorrow. And so they all looked bad. Republicans and Democrats alike really looked bad during the last government shutdown. They all looked inept. They all look like we have no idea how to actually run the government, and people were not happy about it. And so this time around, I don't think they want to go down that road. And so we'll keep an eye on that. And we will also keep an eye on what's going on with Tucson. By the way, we got the 5-minute warning, which if that holds will mean somewhere around 11:47, 11:48, we will be able to bring that news conference to you live. Let's do this, Tess. Let's go to the mystery cam. Look at that pretty little village there.
Little town.
Huh? Yeah. You got a nice stone church there. Looks like it's probably been sitting by the side of the road for a very long time. Where do you guys think this is? You want to noodle this one around? You got a guess already?
I'm going to guess somewhere in maybe a small town in Pennsylvania.
What?
I don't know.
Okay, we'll be right back.
We'll see if I'm right.
The news conference just underway. Let's listen.
the immediate attention. So I apologize to you for sometimes I'm speaking in generalities, and I'm not used to everybody hanging on to my words and then trying to hold me accountable for what I say, but I understand. So we're going to try our best to be succinct with you in the future, and also more important for you to understand is we have a lot of work in front of us. We have a job to do, and we have someone's life who is in jeopardy. And so job number one is we got to find her, and we got to work hard to do that. I understand there's great attention on this, and rightfully so, and I appreciate it, and I thank you for it, because it has generated a lot of leads for us. And so we're tracking those leads, and we're doing things with evidence that you would expect us to be doing. So having said that, we're going to set this up. I know that a number of you yesterday, you guys drove me crazy. Yesterday I was going from a.m. to all the way till 9, 10, 11, midnight, answering concerns and questions, and it's just too tough. And it's not fair to the case. So what I'm going to tell you is today we're going to do this similar to what we're doing right now. Here we'll take questions. It's not really my briefing, it's your briefing. You'll be able to ask us some questions. We'll probably shut you off after a while because I just can't be here all day. We have work to do. But we'll take some questions, and then in a couple of days, unless something breaks, we'll do this every couple of days. So, and we'll set up with you through our PIO teams to give you anything that comes up that might change, but clearly they will notify you on these, what I call media briefings. So with that, I'm going to ask John to come up. If you've got a statement to say, John, and then we'll take some questions and we'll get back to work.
Hello, I'm John Edwards. My spelling is Jonedwards. I'm the Assistant Special Agent in charge of the FBI's office here in Tucson. First, we want the community to know that the FBI is doing everything in our power to bring Nancy Guthrie home to her family. The FBI is working alongside the Pima County Sheriff's Department on this incident. In terms of what the FBI is doing, we are providing the following support. Primarily, it's analytical and technical support in the following ways. We're downloading and analyzing cell phones, obtaining cell tower information, conducting interviews, and providing any and all investigative support that the Sheriff's Department needs. We're looking at this from every angle, but we need your help. If you live in the area or saw something on Saturday night, the 31st of January, or Sunday morning, the 1st of February, please report it to the Pima County Sheriff's Department or the FBI at 1-800-CALL-FBI. Every lead and tip is important. We are aggressively pursuing and looking into every single one. Again, please help us bring Nancy Guthrie home. Thank you.
We'll take some questions.
Sheriff, is there any indication so far as to whether this was a random abduction or targeted?
It's like I said earlier, we're looking at all the leads, and we don't know. We're going to assume both sides of that. We'll look at both sides of that.
Sheriff, any idea what Nancy Guthrie was wearing, or the type of car that she might have left from, or any identifiable information that the public could use to help with those tips?
We do not.
Sheriff, do you believe that one or more than one person was involved in the kidnapping?
I just no clue. It could have been one. It could have been more. I don't know. Let me get one second.
Is there any indication that Nancy Guthrie is still alive? We know the medication played a critical role here. It's been 48 hours. She needs it every single day. Are you looking for someone that is still alive?
We hope we are. We hope we are.
Sheriff said earlier that you don't believe there's a wider threat to the public. If you're not sure if it's targeted, why do you believe there's no wider threat to the public?
Well, we have crime in Tucson all the time, right? Like any city. And so when you say a threat to the public, is there somebody out there who's kidnapping elderly people in the middle of the night every night? We've not heard that. We don't believe that's the case. We do believe that Nancy was taken from her home against her will, and that's where we're at.
Sheriff, when you reference violence at the site, can you elaborate on that? And also, was there a sign of forced entry, any valuables taken, any bank or ATM cards used after her disappearance?
We're not getting into that. What I'd tell you is, like any crime scene, we processed this crime scene. We gathered all the evidence we could, to include looking for what? Fingerprints, DNA, camera images, everything you can imagine, and we gathered that out. Those things have been submitted forward to labs, to technological companies to help us, and we're like you. We're waiting for those returns to come back.
Did you find DNA that did not belong in that house?
The window of time from when she was last seen to when she was reported missing, and I know you guys are asking for help from the public, is there any way to narrow down what time you might be helpful? I know there was a report about a pacemaker dinging like around 2 o'clock in the morning. Is there any way to indicate to people, hey, look around 1 a.m. or 2 a.m. to help them identify what might happen?
You know, I really don't want to get into narrowing down the time, because narrowing it down means we could miss some tips and leads. We're working on with the data we've submitted for investigative analysis. We're working to see if that time can be tightened up. But for now, we're going with what we told you earlier. She was dropped off at 9:30, and she was found to be missing at about 11 o'clock Sunday morning.
Let
me get this one.
DNA of anyone else found in the house?
We've submitted all kinds of samples for DNA, and we've gotten some back, but nothing to indicate any suspects.
Anybody strange in the neighborhood? I know you're looking at video, different surveillance camera, anything that we should be looking at, different cars?
I have nothing in that regard.
Have any demands been made by kidnappers?
We have all kinds of investigative leads we're working on.
Sheriff, we noticed that the camera on the front of the house is missing. Do you believe the perpetrator purposely took the camera?
Don't know that. We're looking into that as well. Yes, sir.
That scene been fully processed now. We saw deputies leave around 6 o'clock last night. We didn't see tape go up. You know, an Amazon driver was able to walk right up to the door. Is that pretty standard for how you handle this?
The scene is done. We're done with the residents. If we need to go back to get, maybe we want to do something with some other piece of evidence there, we contact the family and let them know. But we turn back over to the family. I don't have the time. No, ma'am.
Around the house?
No.
Was there any? Would you please take us through the timeline that you've established of the events so far, and what's the difference?
9:45, 9:30, 9:45, we were told she was left at her home by the family. At 11 o'clock in the morning, the family got notice from somebody at church that she was not at church. They went to the home, found her to be missing. That's the timeline. From Saturday night, 9:45, we'll say, to Sunday morning, 11 o'clock. Let me get somebody back here, please.
Have you interviewed the people that reported her missing, the people from the
That's the family. Oh, from the church as well. We're doing all kinds of interviews. Yes, I'm sure we have.
Have you been able to access the footage from the cameras at the house?
That's all been submitted, and we're doing our best with those companies who own those cameras or built those cameras.
Are there any plans to release those videos from the cameras, from the surveillance? Are there any plans to release the video from the cameras, surveillance footage?
We don't even have them yet, so no, not at this time. This is an active investigation.
There's a report of a suspicious man a few doors down last week. Is that anything that you guys are aware of?
I'm not aware of it. My detectives may be. There's a lot of detective work being done, and I just can't get into those weeds or even discuss with you what they may not have learned. Yes, ma'am.
report from the board yesterday, are there specific resources that maybe the board has not granted that would have made a difference responding to this case?
Well, you know, that's getting into my own local politics. I apologize. Yes, the board a few weeks ago denied a request for more cameras, more drones, more AI capabilities with our own body-worn cameras. All those things, you know, you'd have to talk to the board. I'm not probably not the right time to go into this.
Sheriff,
let me get somebody else here.
Sheriff,
yes.
do you believe she's still in this area?
Do we believe?
Do you believe she's still in this area, or is there somewhere else?
We don't know where she is. So we're you like any investigation. You start from the point of where we last saw her, and we work out, and we're working as far out as we can go.
Sheriff, can you walk through the evidence of forced entry at the house, like any broken windows or whatever? Does it seem like people just went in and out?
There are concerns at the house that concerned us from the early on part of this investigation, and that's all I will tell you. Yes, ma'am.
Sheriff, is there any history with Nancy needing police at her place, or concerns when she was worried about somebody following or
our investigative team has looked into all of those things, and that has not been brought to my attention. So she may have had something like that, but I'm not aware of it.
What is your extent of collaboration with the federal government? Obviously, FBI is here, CBP. Are there other agencies also involved?
CBP's role in this was in our search and rescue mission, where we constantly use them. They have great dogs too. Our dogs aren't tracking dogs for this. Theirs are, and so they came out and did that. Anybody else, though, that we've asked for help from, whether it's the FBI, I know if we needed help from CBP or DEA or ATF, they would gladly give it. I've heard from leadership from all sorts of agencies, not just at the federal level, but across the state. Every one of them saying, Sheriff, you need anything, we're here.
Sure. So you obviously said investigators, when they got on scene, they found suspicious circumstances. When the family called originally to report her missing, did they say anything about the state of the home?
I don't know that. I don't know. Let me hang on. Let me make sure I'm getting some different people here. Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, so there was blood that was found inside the house and you're testing it for DNA. How much blood and where was it?
I'm not saying there's blood inside that house or outside that house. What I'm saying is our team processed a scene like you would think of any crime scene. We go in and we process it. We look for things like that, blood, DNA, any kind of physical evidence, fingerprints, anything. And all of that is gathered and submitted to a lab. That lab will report back to us what they find. So far, what we found from that lab is nothing that would tell us this is who did this.
We'll take a couple more questions, and then the sheriff's got to go.
Sheriff, can you walk through the evidence that was found at the scene in as much detail as possible?
No, I cannot.
What is the bottleneck to the surveillance footage? I know you said some of it is in the cloud, but you've also been reached out to tech companies that are saying they're cooperating. Why do you not have the surveillance footage on media?
That's what I tell them. How come I don't have this? Where's my evidence? It is a process, and I'm sorry, but we're grateful that there's large corporations and companies who have bent over backwards to help us, to say, hey, Sheriff, tell us what you need. And so, yeah, I can't slam them.
By the way, we have no idea where that music's coming from. We are attempting to get the feedback, and as soon as we get the audio feed, we will just continue the stream, even though we're wrapping up Fox 10 Talk. So stay with us for more coverage right now.
We're following all leads we have. That's all I can tell you. We've got hundreds of leads, and it's from you that produce those leads by telling people we need help, and I'm grateful for that. But I'm not going to get into all that. We have a team designated to deal with all of our leads. They're looking into all of that. We are sharing all of our leads with the FBI. They are helping us in evaluating those leads, how good they are, where their priority should be. And so we're just, I know you guys are doing your job, and you're doing a great job, but we have a job to do, and I really need to back away from this for a while, and we'll see you, unless something breaks, we'll see you Thursday morning.